If you have an online course, you are primed and ready to make money from book sales. How, you ask? By creating a guide, workbook, notebook, or any other kind of book to accompany your course. The online learning industry is expected to reach $1 trillion in valuation by 2027. A trilly! In 2020 alone, Teachable course creators made over $450 million. So if you're already creating online courses, you know the value of this medium, and a great way to add even more value is with books. So why do you need to create a book for your online course? Well, creating a book to accompany the course is a great way to give your students more opportunity to connect with your content. So maybe there are some things throughout the course that you're not able to cover, and creating a book to go along with the course allows you to include white papers or case studies or maybe a glossary of terms or additional references. If creating a full-blown guide or workbook doesn't sound appealing to you or maybe doesn't make sense for your course, then just creating a simple journal, maybe a blank journal with your branding and aesthetic is a great way to give students a place to take notes while keeping your brand top of mind. Having a book to offer with your course can also help create a really fun onboarding experience for your students. So at Lulu, when we created our first paid course, as the students signed up, we sent them swag boxes that had our workbook and also stickers and bookmarks and pins and some fun swag in it. And we use that as kind of a way to delight and excite the students. Adding a book or workbook to your course is also a great way to establish credibility and further prove your investment in the course. So not only did you take the time to research and develop the live or recorded course that you're offering, but you went the extra mile and created a nice physical product to go along with it. Your book can also be another opportunity for lead generation. So at the end of your book, you can put a call to action like, hey, if you love this course, share it with a friend, or here's a promo code for 10 or 15% off products or services from my website. So this can be a great way to build community and continue those relationships. Last but not least, you can create your book one time and sell it forever. But if you do find that something changes or you need to revise the content, no worries. At Lulu, there are no revision fees. All right, so what kind of book should you make? Well, this is the beauty of self-publishing. Make whatever you want. You can make whatever your heart and your audience desires. But here are a few trim sizes and specs that we think work really well for coursework. First up is 8.5 by 11, coil bound with 60-pound uncoated paper. So I really like the coil binding for a workshop or online class or anything where really you want it to lay flat and have a lot of space for note-taking or doodles or what have you. But an 8.5 by 11 is just like your standard printer paper and is going to give your students plenty of space to take notes and jot down their thoughts as they go through the course. Next up is 8.5 by 11 hardcover. So this is, again, that standard printer paper size, but really what you think of when you think of a textbook. So of course the hardcover gives you that really nice professional look. So depending on your content and what you're teaching, it can be a really nice fit for your students. Next up is 6 by 9 coil bound with 60-pound uncoated paper. So this is actually what we went with for our class. This is the size that we did. So the 6 by 9 is just your standard trade paperback, so a very familiar size if you've ever been to a bookstore or seen a bookshelf. So this is obviously smaller than the 8.5 by 11, but I think gives you, a good amount of room to include content and space for note-taking. If you're just looking to make a snazzy notebook for your students, then our digest, pocketbook, or novella size, those are all a little bit smaller, but can also be great options for you. Pro tip here, if you're looking to just make a blank notebook or journal for your students, then be sure to go to lulu.com/create/notebooks where you can download free interior files for blank, lined, dot, or grid interiors. Creating a book to accompany your course, just like any other book, takes time and effort, and you will need to do all of the bookish things to make it look like a real book. How many times can I say book in this sentence? But as you create this accompaniment to your course, you will need to go through all the steps. So editing, formatting, cover design, and ordering and reviewing a proof copy. So definitely don't skimp on that last step. You want to make sure that you give yourself enough time to order your proof copy and be able to review it. So I promise you that once you get the proof copy, you're gonna find something that you wish you did differently. That's just the way that it goes. So in this process, you wanna make sure that you are the one that finds it and not one of your students. After you make your book, how will you sell it? Well, if you're already selling your online course through your own website, Lulu Direct is a great way to do that. You can integrate with your website and sell books directly through your site. So as folks are signing up for the online course, they can grab your book as well. So that's definitely one way to do it. Another way to do it, as I mentioned earlier, would be buying your books in bulk and then hand fulfilling or, creating those fun swag packages for your students and personalizing it a little bit as they sign up. So maybe adding a thank you note or here's what to expect in the class or just some fun swag. So that can be a really fun way to do it as well. You can also sell your books through the Lulu bookstore. So if you sell through the Lulu bookstore, you'll have the option to put the book in general access, which means anyone in the world can search and find it. You could do select access, which is really nice for different courses. So this could be really ideal for someone who is creating a course. But with select access, you get a distinct URL that you can give to the students in your class, and the only people that can find the book are the ones with that URL. Then last but not least, you can choose to put it in private access that will give only you as the professor access to the content. If you're selling your book through the Lulu.com bookstore and it's eligible for distribution, then you can send it through our global distribution channels and sell it through Ingram, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. Online courses are a great way for you to share your expertise and add value for your community. And creating a book gives your students a way to stay on track and connect with your content on a deeper level. Plus, publishing a book allows you to add author and professor to your resume, right? Are you turning your online course into a book? Let us know in the comments below. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.